Hello, welcome to Friday morning. I just noticed that the computer hasn't switched to Ethernet. We're on Wi-Fi, so fingers crossed. Because if I press any buttons now, it might all disappear. Good morning, welcome to Friday. First Friday in October. Can't believe it's October already. As usual, if you are watching, do pop a hello in the comments so that I can say hello back, because it's good manners. We'll give it a couple of minutes for people to arrive, and then we'll get going. Interesting one today. I think it's interesting anyway. I'm just watching the dog do a wall of death around the room. Sit down. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Tess. Good morning, Rachel. Glad to be back. I have been away for most of this week with Ness, Sue and Heather from the Kitchen Witch Posse. We've been to the beautiful royal city of Bath. We were on a bit of a pilgrimage to find Sulis. We did. Oh, yes, we did. We had a fantastic time. It is such an amazing city, and we were very lucky to find a brilliant apartment right in the city centre as well, which was much cheaper than a lot of the big hotels. So, yeah, fantastic time. So thank you for that. Oh, lots of people. Oh, hello. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Willow Moon. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Tess. Lattes and cakes you had in Bath looked delicious. We had so much amazing food while we were there. Possibly the best chai latte that I have ever had. Green Rocket Cafe. Brilliant. And that's Eric singing. All right. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Christine. Happy October to you too. We like October. It's got my birthday in it. Good morning, Karen. Enjoyed seeing your adventures. Yes, we had a lovely time. Very, very nice time in Bath. It's all disappearing. There's so many of you. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Trudy. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Caroline. Good morning, Nikki. Sue says Bath is very expensive. Actually, we didn't find it too bad. We were very lucky. We found a very reasonable apartment that we split between us. It's a city, but it is a very beautiful city. If you shop around, you're all right. Good morning, Maharet. Good morning, Xenia. Xenia loves seeing the photos from Bath. Thank you. Yeah, we did like to share. It was a fantastic few days. Good morning, Emma. Xenia says hello, Eric. Yeah, there he is. You're right. Are you going to squeak the whole way through? Are you? Or do you want another blanket? Let's just grab him another blanket. It might keep him quiet. Another blanket. There you go. All right. Better? Yes? To keep the animals happy. Yes, I apologize for the terrible lighting in here, but we're all a bit upside down at the minute. So this is a temporary. We're in our lounge, in our living room, and the dining room table is in the middle of it. That's what I've got the computer on at the moment. So we are a little bit upside down at the minute. So bear with us. Nikki, he is missing his conservatory because it's also raining and he doesn't like the rain. Tess, he is cute. He's a total kid, but he's cute. Can't see. No, you can't see him now. He's buried. He's gone all under the blankets. Let's get some of these up. Willow Moon. Friend of mine was in Bath and asked Sulis if she was still there. She is, absolutely. Next minute, a bird swooped down into the water, splashed about a bit, then flew off. Took it as a yes. I have never felt such a power from a deity as when we were there. She is overwhelming, her strength there. It was an amazing experience. She'd already found me the first time I visited Bath a few years ago now, and I've been back several times since. But we went specifically this time to connect with her, and it was quite overwhelming. Yes, she's definitely still there. Most definitely. So we are in October. Whew, wow. But where's the year gone? I don't know. Excuse me. Nikki, Nikki says, that's the problem with being low slung. Puddles are risky if you're a Dachshund. He does not like the wet. He walks around puddles. He doesn't like going out in the rain. Doesn't like getting his feet wet. He's a little bit of a princess. Jane says, can you give us some background on Sulis? There will be a book. I already have a contract with Moon Books to write a Pagan Portals book on Sulis. She is fascinating. She is an ancient goddess. She was worshipped in Britain, in Bath, way before the Romans even arrived, hundreds of years before the Romans arrived. So she is one of our real ancient British goddesses. She is a solar goddess, but she's also a water goddess because she is associated with the hot springs at Bath, the natural hot springs. She is a force of nature. There is no messing about with this one. She is strong, she is powerful, she gets things done. They have found something like 150 curse tablets in her, where her temple was in Bath. People would ask her to curse people when they'd had things stolen, generally. But she also is a healing goddess, so there are other petitions to her as well. Loads of offerings they found, coins particular there. Her temple, the Roman baths in Bath were built by the Romans, but the natural hot springs were there obviously a long time before. But they believed that there was a temple to Sulis there before the Romans. Before the Romans arrived, there was worship of Sulis. The Romans built all the baths and all of the temples, buildings around it when they arrived. And as Romans like to do, they often took the deity that was local and gave them a Roman name. In this case, I think they realized that Sulis was so strongly worshipped in the area and had been there for so long that they actually just called her, they kept her name, Sulis, but they called her Sulis Minerva. So there is a statue to Minerva in there. There's a bronze head of Sulis Minerva. Looks very Roman. But there is the part of the temple that they found of Sulis has what they originally thought was a Gorgon's head on it, but it's Balanus. The general consensus is it's Balanus, that he's there protecting the temple of Sulis. It is a fascinating subject, one for another day. I will be doing a talk on Sulis for the Scottish Goddess Conference next year as well, but there will be a book, so be prepared. There will be lots of information. We also have a new course coming out in February, the Kitchen Witch course on the ancient goddesses of Britain, and Sulis is one of those goddesses. It is a fascinating place. They've only been able to uncover a certain amount of it because a lot of the building, the remains, is all under the paths and under the streets and under all of the surrounding houses and under part of the abbey that is right next door. So it is fascinating, very, very fascinating. Karen says, cannot wait for your... Yes, I'm loving it. She has really took hold of me, and she has already provided me with a huge amount of support and guidance and got a lot of stuff done for me. So there you go. Yes, very drawn to do a book on Sulis. Contracts already signed. Xenia, I hope people weren't drinking from the water where the lead curse plays. You're not actually allowed to touch or drink the water. The Roman baths itself, the water is very beautiful green colour, but it's green because it's got all algae and nasties in it. So you can't actually drink from the water. They do normally, what they did was tapped into the source of the spring so that they can tap or pipe fresh water from the spring so that you can get a drink from it. Unfortunately, with the whole COVID situation at the moment, that wasn't available today, but you can't actually drink from the pool because it's full of nasties. But there you go. I have to visit Bath. Yes, it is. It's a lovely city. Very, very nicely done. They have quite specific rules about what you can build and what, improvements you can make to the buildings and things. So it looks beautiful. It is a normal city. It's got all the shops and things that a normal city has, but right slap bang in the middle are the Roman baths. Just, Have been to the baths in Bath, didn't know all the history though. It is fascinating. They've done quite a lot of work with the displays since I last went as well. So that was quite interesting. It's very well done. Very well worth the visit. Jill, can't wait. Yeah, I haven't written it yet, Jill, so it might be a little while. Jane, we were right on top of Bath last week. Wish we'd had the energy. Yeah, you do it. We took our time, obviously, but looked at everything, read everything, and it was a good 2 hours that we were in there. And that included sitting, looking at Balanos at the front of the temple for some considerable time, making connections. Sue, the water you can drink is awful. Well, it's slightly warm, the water that they let you drink, but of course it's got lots of minerals in it, which we're not used to. And it does taste quite strange. Definitely. And visiting Bath. Yes, school trips. There's always lots of school trips going around. So Bath, that's another day. We'll talk about Bath another day and Sulis another day. So I apologise for the bad lighting. Again, it is quite dodgy at the minute, but our house is completely upside down. Monday, our renovations start. And it's quite major renovations. So the house is going to be completely upside down for some considerable time. So we are moving things around at the minute, clearing things out. So this is a temporary spot. I will be somewhere different next week. I don't know where yet, but I will be somewhere different. So I thought this week I would talk about transitions and changes and how to deal with them from a magical point of view. I'm going to be doing some magical work today. The house is already set. I've connected with her. I've spoken to her, and she's very happy to have facelift, nip and a tuck. She's very pleased about that. She's over 100 years old, so she says it's about time. But our life is going to be chaotic for a while. So dealing with changes and transitions is not always easy. So I have looked at some magical ways of dealing with it, actually taken from the Curative Magic book. So if you're interested, it's all in the Curative Magic book. I will put bits of today's talk up on the blog as well. But I think changes and transitions can be difficult for everybody. Speaking myself, having and still going through the menopause, and that brings an awful lot of changes and transitions with it. But I think we all deal with changes. They do say, don't they? The only constant is that things change. Sometimes the shifts are small, sometimes the shifts are large. This is going to be a large shift for us. We're going to be living in quite a different style for quite a while and managing. And then the house is all going to be changing. So I wanted to put some magic in place to help deal with it, to make it smoother. Not that it's not going to be smooth, because the building company we have are absolutely fantastic. But this is about us dealing with the changes. And it's going to affect everything. It's going to affect things physically and our way of living, but also mentally. So it's about putting some things, magical things in place, because I don't deal with it very well. I suspect my husband is dreading dealing with me for the next few weeks. But there you go. He's very brave. Seriously need to clear. Jane, I want to say 23. I think there's 23 books out, something like that now, and more on the way. There's another one out in November. Xenia says, I think I'm changing and transitioning into the Kitchen Witch School. We have a very lovely group of people at the Kitchen Witch School. Very, very lovely people. Lovely students and lovely Hearth Guardians. The team that helped me run it, couldn't do it without them. And actually, it was brilliant spending time with the girls the last few days. We did have a laugh and embarrassing moments, and, you know, because they all get into trouble. They're the ones that lead me astray. Anyway, so working with transitions and changes, you can do several things to help you from a magical point of view. We'll be doing a ritual later just to help things smooth go smoothly and to help me deal with those changes. But you can work a spell, which I will take you through in a moment. I'm not actually going to work the spell because I don't have all my stuff. All of my stuff is packed away. But I will talk you through a spell in a while. I'm also going to go through some crystals and some herbs that you can work with to help you deal with changes. You know this, but every crystal, every herb, every plant, every food stuff has magical properties, and you can borrow those energies or tap into those energies to help you deal with different things. And lots of them are very suitable for dealing with changes and transitions. Senia says, embarrassing moments are the best. That's one of his. Yes, standing there with Ness and Heather wearing pirate hats was, you just have to. Christine says, tell Pete I have a spare room if he needs to get away for a while. I think Eric's going to be the one that struggles the most. Jane agreed. Senia joined the Kitchen Witch School in August, and it's really getting me back on track after some muddy years. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Jane. It is our pleasure to walk the journey with you. Senia, I love the photo with the pirate hats. Yes, we were in a toy shop for Sue to buy prezzies for her grandchildren. And the girls were trying on all the hats, fireman's hats, pirate hats, can't go anywhere, can't take them anywhere. So let's have a look. Now, I like to work with colour magic, so I tend to start with colour magic. Whether it's laying my altar or choosing candles to work with, I like to work with a bit of colour magic. So I take the intent, in this case, transitions and changes, and think about the colour that I associate with it. There are lists of colours everywhere, and if you are looking for that kind of resource, there's a whole list in a couple of my books, Grimoire, I think there is, but there are individual blog posts on my personal blog working with the characteristics and personalities of each colour. So if you want to look for something specific, they are on my personal blog. But I like to work with how I feel about it. So if you think about the intent, if you think about changes and transitions, and think what colour you associate with it. In actual fact, for me, I think it's more of a ombre. That's the word, isn't it? When you have your hair done ombre. I think for me, it is a colour and it fades into another colour or into a lighter shade or grows into a darker shade. So for me, I think transitions and changes is different shades of a colour. Same colour, doesn't, matter what it is, but graduated. But you have to go with what works for you. So it's very personal, but colour magic adds another layer to your magic. So have a think about what works for you and what colour you associate with changes. If you've got a colour pop into your head now, pop it in the comments and we'll share. But colour magic I love. But for me, in my head, I've got a grey kind of colour. That sounds quite miserable, but it's not. But it's where it fades into the different shades. Looks quite pretty. Tess, love it. Such good timing. I'm transitioning, changing my career and business at the moment. Huge change and very challenging. Yes, absolutely. But fantastic. Exciting for you, Tess. Brilliant. Very exciting. Good morning, Kay, and good morning, Hilary. Hope I pronounced that right. So think about the colour and think about what colour you associate with transitions and changes. And then you can add that into your magical working, again, whether it's your altar cloth or whether it is colours of candles or colours of crystals or just something that you can visualise. Xenia says, a very light blue popped into my head, like new, fresh energy. Brilliant. That would work beautifully. Excellent. Jane says, not wrong with monochrome. It's as restful on the eyes as green. Perhaps that's what it is. Yes, perhaps it is the fact that the monochrome is quite restful and calming. Yeah, I like that, Jane. That works very well. But it has to work for you. So it has to work for you. And I apologise for the noise as well. It's quite warm in here, so I've got the windows open so you can hear all the traffic cars outside. Good morning, Carol. Xenia says, or purple, transition between the cold blue and the warm red. Nice. Yes, the transition between colours. Like it. Nikki says, lilac for me. I think it's to do with sky colours always changing. I think lilac's quite a calming colour too, isn't it? It's quite a peaceful colour, so that would work. Christine saw a vision of green grass that gets cut up but grows back again quite quick. Nice. I like that. A nice visualization. Excellent. Kay, watching from your profile, you couldn't see me. Basically said, didn't you have? Yes, I did have a lovely time. Thank you. I'm in my living room. Kay, it's not a new room. It's my living room. This is the only room downstairs that's not going to be renovated, so it's safe in here at the minute. Jane, love watching soppy old monochrome films on TV, especially horror. One of my favourite films is in monochrome, Sabrina Fair, with Humpty Go-Kart, as my gran used to call him, Humphrey Bogart and Audrey Hepburn. Emma says, spring green transitioning into forest green like the seasons. Nice. That's a very nice visualization. Caroline went with purple too. Yep. Diane, spring colours, moving from winter to summer. Yeah, it is. It's the Illyri's just got it. Autumn colours. For me, this time of the year is all about changes and transitions. In fact, the renovations come at the perfect time for me. I love autumn anyway. But this time of the year for me is the trees are all changing. The garden is closing down, ready to put away for winter. Everything is in flux at the moment. It is the autumn equinox for me is a pivot, and it's all going to be transitions and changing. So autumn colours for me would work very well. Hi, Sam. Happy 1st of October to you. Soft faded colours, sometimes like the autumn leaves, but interestingly today it's a minky grey. Oh, I like that description. Minky grey. That sounds lovely. Carol, autumnal colours. Yeah, it's changing, isn't it, Jane? It's the same. Autumn has the best, it does have the best colours. Carol, when I meditated, I felt colours of blue to purple. It's the transition again, isn't it? Yes. Hi, Francis. Just moved to Cornwall. Wow, that's quite dramatic, but how fabulous. Cornwall is so lovely. Purple for change. It's dramatic. Yeah, excellent. Works very well. Doorbank on the Midland Line on the way to Sheffield looks stunning at this time of the year. I don't know that. Hopefully I'll be able to see that one day. Good morning, Mitch. Quickly popping on, love seeing your adventures in Bath. There are lots of photos. October blessings to you too, Mitch. Kay, will we put yes, Hocus Pocus. It's the right time of the year for Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic, of course. Colours, I love purple, but I adore the autumnal colours. It gives you such a lift. Yes, it is my favourite time of the Jane is well gel. I'm assuming she means very jealous. Yes, moving to Cornwall would be fantastic. Carol's already watched it. Yeah, for October, Hocus Pocus, Practical Magic, and Rocky Horror, obviously. You know, in actual fact, in Bath, their apartment was on the top floor of this beautiful Georgian building, and we had a lift. And for any of you my age, it was like the lift from the Grace Brothers in Are You Being Served? It was antique and very rickety. It was actually quite scary getting in it, but it made us laugh, so there you go. But yes, Ness decided that it was the lift that Frankenfurter comes down in at the beginning of the film. So we had to sing that every time we got in it. Illyria must go to Bath. Oh, do, Illyria, go to the Roman baths. Definitely. Very, very amazing place. Very amazing. Yep, definitely Hocus Pocus. Practical Magic is all, yeah. You can always watch Practical Magic, can't you? Especially with Aidan Quinn in it. Sue, the Christmas films have started on the telly. They may have started in our house already, Sue. Not looking guilty at all. Nikki, see spring here. Got out of cart in town and got a face full of cherry blossom. Lovely, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, practical magic, practical magic. There are a few sequel magic films out there now. There's lots of wonderful films out there now. So anyway, let's have a look, because we always get sidetracked. I like getting sidetracked. Do sidetrack me. Quite happy for you to sidetrack. Christine says, we have a chairlift for the other half and I use it for my washing to get upstairs. Oh, good idea. Do the first floor close, second floor bedding. Yes. Going up. Definitely. Good morning, John. So let's have a look at some crystals. I managed to hoik a few crystals out of my witchy room is now the storage room for the foreseeable future, but I managed to get to the crystals. So there are some crystals that are really good for working with to help you through transitions and changes. You can carry them with you. You can use them in your magical spells. You can meditate with them. You can pop them around the house. I'll be popping a few around the house. The rooms aren't going to be touched, just so that they've got a kind of calming energy for each room. Remember to charge the crystal with your intent before you use it and cleanse it afterwards. So let's have a look. And the first one is a trusty one here. And it is. This is a chevron amethyst from Frere's Cauldron. It is beautiful. I'd never seen a chevron amethyst before, but it is absolutely beautiful. But the point is, it's an amethyst, and amethyst is really, really good. Amethyst helps guide you from the old to the new. So it's really, really good for anything to do with transitions and training. Carol, did you buy any crystals? No, we did go in a crystal shop. We didn't buy any crystals. I spent an obscene amount of money in the Roman bath shop, but don't tell my husband. They had some brilliant Bolanos plaques, and I've got a Bolanos chalice, and they had the Three Mothers plaque as well. I bought quite a few things to set up a really nice Sulis altar, and a couple of books. Bought my son a book on the Roman armies as well. So no crystals, but lots of nice things. Kay says, TK Maxx have autumnal wreaths that help you capture the colour of autumn. TK Maxx always have really good Halloween decorations, which obviously we can use all year round. So yes, they're definitely worth a look. Xenia says, amethyst, one of my absolute favourites. It is a really good all-round crystal and so easily available, and one of the cheaper ones as well. So really, really good. Caroline was going to say amethyst, excellent. Sue says your spending secrets are safe with us. Unfortunately, A, he's watching, and B, he's sitting in the room behind me. So I think my secret may be out. Yes, the Roman Baths has a shop. Unfortunately, I don't sell online, so you have to go to the Roman Baths to actually go in the shop. Not very big, but it has some beautiful things in it. We also bought some bottles of water from the Roman Baths as well. Carol says, sorry, got you side. So you can distract me all you want, Carol. Don't apologise. That's what these talks are all about. If I ever stuck to a theme the whole way through, it would be very rare indeed. Part of the fun is that you guys join in. So that's amethyst. Amethyst, really good, helping you transition from the old to the new. So that's a very good one. I haven't got one, but Apache tears brings support to help you through transitions and difficult times. So Apache tear would be really good if you've got a particularly bumpy ride transition, because that can really help you with any difficult issues. Chrysocolla, which every time I say it, I think I must get one of those. I haven't got one. And it's beautiful too. Chrysocolla helps you deal with whatever life throws at you. So probably a good one to carry most of the time. We could probably all do with one of those, just generally. But that will help you. Chrysocolla helps deal with, the lemons that life throws at you. Kay likes carnelian and kunzite. Great crystal for the heart emotionally too. Jane says TK Maxx. Yes. Yes, definitely have a look in TK Maxx. Their Halloween decorations are always absolutely brilliant. Carol likes tiger's eye and lapis lazuli. I like this. Lapis lazuli is such a good word, isn't it? Or 2 words, I should say. So the other one to look at is garnet, and I have a small piece here. I hold it up so the camera can see it. Garnet, very pretty stone. It brings confidence and the ability to switch your survival instincts into action. So it helps you deal with those new situations by kicking you into that survival mode. So garnet's really good, again, with quite heavy transitions or the forced ones that we chose to have a house renovation. So but there's no sympathy for us. We absolutely put it upon ourselves. But this garnet's really good for kicking that survival instinct in. So if you've got changes that have been forced on you and you're struggling to deal with them, garnet will really help you to deal with those new situations. So that's quite a useful one as well. I'm sure the next one is jet. I'm sure I've got a piece of jet, but the problem with lots of black crystals is they all look the same. So I may have a bit of jet, but I don't know which one's which. So jet is really grounding, and it's also really protecting, although I think most black stones are. So jet works really well to stabilize your energies. So when everything's all up in the air, jet will work really well to stabilize those energies. Christine says kyanite is a good one for cleansing others, but I think you might need some dusters for the house to clear the dust. Yes, I think I'm not doing any housework until it's done, because it's going to be horribly dusty. So there's no point doing any housework. The crystals are all packed away. Xenia got some really nice Halloween decorations at TK Maxx some weeks ago. Cauldron jar candle with a lid and spooky wine goblets. Yes, I mean, although they have them out for Halloween, we can use them all year round, but definitely TK Maxx for Halloween decorations. Very, very good. Jane used to wear huge amounts of lapis on necklaces when I was singing in choirs. Yes, helps the throat chakra. The blue color, doesn't it? Really helps the throat chakra. I would need, well, I don't think there's enough lapis in the world to help me sing in tune, Jane. It's not worth it. Christine was gifted a raw black kyanite with black tourmaline inclusions. Oh, amazing. I bet that is protection upon protection. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Kay says, what, those glass plant containers? Oh, the dome things. Yes. Be great for keeping crystals out of dusty atmosphere. I think the dust is going to get in everywhere. I don't think there's anything. Jane says, sometimes you can tell similar stones apart by tapping them on your front teeth. Some feel more ceramic and some feel more resiny. Yes, they do, don't they? Unfortunately, my front teeth aren't mine, so front teeth are capped because I knocked them out when I was younger. I don't know whether that makes a difference. Carol, since someone posted about the little cups. Yes, I think that was Lucia, wasn't it? Poundland, definitely worth a look for their Halloween things as well. What's housework? We do it occasionally, just before people come round. Terrariums. Thank you, Diane. That is the word, terrariums. Actually, we saw a couple of very nice houseplant shops in Bath. It was very tempting, but being as I don't actually have anywhere to put houseplants at the moment, I had to be really good. Nikki says, garnet came up this week when my mom lost the garnet from her favourite ring and then found the one I bought her on her honeymoon 30 years ago. Amazingly, she's kept it safe and fitted. Perfect. Perfect. Xenia also have kyanite, absolutely beautiful and support. It is a lovely colour, lovely blue colour, isn't it? Carol is drawn to lapis because of the colour. It is amazing stone. Definitely helps with communication, absolutely. Karen got a cauldron with orange witch boots at the base from TK Maxx. Excellent. Housework will take 6 weeks after all finished. Dust will just appear from no. Yes, it's a bit like confetti, isn't it? That appears everywhere for months. In fact, we actually had our wedding reception at home 23 years ago. And we were still finding confetti years afterwards. It could be that confetti just hides itself, or it could be that I'm not that interested in housework. Yeah, definitely a TK Maxx trip test before all the Halloween stuff is gone. Jane, thank you. For right when it's cramps. I'll try it. Thank you. I will try it. O'Leary said, Soda Light keeps coming up for me. Nice. Another blue stone. Lots of blue stones today. And here we go. Favourite stone was dressed is blue agate. Lots of blue. Lots of blue. Willow Moon. Which crystals would fit in with the energies of Sulis? Oh, interesting one. Interesting one. Well, she is classed as a solar deity. So I'm personal choice. There are no traditional stones for Sulis. You have to go with what works for you. I'm drawn to sunstone and goldstone. All of the nice yellow, gold, sparkly ones. I think goldstone in particular would be very nice. But she is powerful. She is very, very powerful. So nothing fluffy. The crystal would have to have a really big punch of energy. But I'm going to go with goldstone and sunstone. Willow Moon for the minute. I think they would be perfect. Sue says, didn't Quentin Crisp say after 4 years dust? Okay, I'll note that. Thank you. Celestite is scrummy too. It's very pretty. It's a bit angelic for me. Okay, but it's a beautiful, beautiful one. Xenia Chalcedon, nice. Karen has blue topaz. I just got a ring with it in. Excellent. Nikki, citrine maybe. So this, yes, very nice. I think for me it feels a bit light, if that makes sense. She is such an overwhelming power that the crystal will need to have a lot of oomph behind it. Fluorite, nice, very nice. Beautiful stone, beautiful stone. John says, blue fits with the cooling period of autumn. Yeah. Okay, with smoky quartz. Yeah, that would be quite a nice one, okay, for Sulis. Smoky quartz would work very nice. Jane says, Quentin Crisp deserves his own altar. Just don't move anything. An altar to Quentin Crisp. I bet no one's got one of those. So moving on. We're all talking about blue stones. I don't think I've got any blue stones here. Not really blue. The next one is labradorite, which is not picking up on the camera very well, but you guys know what it looks like. It gives you clarity of thought and it gives you direction. So if you're dealing with lots of changes and transitions and you need a bit of clarity and you need a bit of focus to help you decide which direction, I could do with this because we've been through 73 different tiles for the kitchen before making our mind up. So labradorite gives you that direction, that focus to make decisions and help keep you on track. So that's really useful for dealing with changes and transitions. Karen, just got a goldstone bracelet and have a piece around my Sulis statue's neck. Perfect. We're in sync, Karen. We're in sync. Good morning, Leslie. Carol doesn't have labradorite. She needs some. Yeah, you all need some labradorite. Christine has lots of labradorite. It's her favourite. I don't work with it a great deal. It's not one of the ones I work with particularly, but for this, clarity of thought and direction, definitely going to be working with that. Kay says, blue lace agate would deal with foot stomping frustration. I like that. Leary, I love labradorite. I carry a palm stone. Don't know about clarity of thought, but that might be the menopause. Yeah. Oh, I hear you, Leary. I'm absolutely with you on that. The old foggy menopause brain. Nikki's favourite, butterfly wings. That's a nice description. So the other one, and one of my favourites, such a beautiful stone, is malachite. Can't really see the stripes in that one, but malachite is, the colours in malachite are so amazing. Do you know, I've just thought that would probably work really well for Sulis because of all of the baths, the colour of the water. The colour of the water is that kind of green in the Roman baths. And there's all of the orange deposits in the freshwater bit that you can see, which, yeah, that would work brilliantly for Sulis. That's just come to me in my head. So malachite is all about balance and endurance. So this is the stone that's going to keep you going through all of the changes and all of the transitions. This is the one that is going to boost you up and give you the stamina to get to the end of it. So malachite's quite an important one for that. Caroline loves labradorite beside my bed. It protects the aura. Perfect. Jane absolutely loves labradorite. When I'm all muddle-headed after a hectic day, I lie in bed with lab in my left hand and tiger's eye in my right. Relax and let the labradorite send in clarity to replace all of the dross the tiger's eye is pulling out. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that, Jane. That's absolutely brilliant. We could probably all do with some of that. Kay says, sparkling lepidolite is gorgeous for this time of the year and changes. It's a beautiful stone. Malachite, I believe, is made in water too. It's just hot. Yeah, that would work, Christine, wouldn't it? Just sitting here holding it, I've realised how perfect that is for Sulis. Definitely. Nikki, I have all those stones guiding through menopause madness. Yeah, I tried everything, Nikki, and I think I'd need a lorry full of them to actually, keep doing it. Not keen on malachite. Well, crystals are like people, aren't they? There's some that you get on with and some that you don't. In fact, one of the ones I'm going to cover in a minute is one that I don't get on with. But malachite, definitely, I'm going to be working with this one for endurance and to bring about balance. So that one's really good for transitions and changes. And the one that I don't get on very well with is moonstone. Apart from the fact that it looks like a piece of cold fish, I don't connect with the moonstone energy. It makes me quite uncomfortable. I don't really work with it at all. But it brings a calming, if you connect with it, it brings a calming and peaceful energy. And it can help you with making the right decision as well. But not for me. But you have to get on with them. Every crystal is like an individual person. And each two pieces of moonstone will both be different. They'll both have different energies and different personalities. It's about you connecting with the stones. So you have to work with what stones work for you. Tess, weird question. We like weird questions. I don't have many crystals. The ones you're showing, do they always come in those colours or some have various? Malachite is, yes, some of them are specific colours. Malachite's usually green, amethyst is usually purple, garnet is usually red. There are some that come in different colours. Calcite comes in different colours. You can get orange calcite, green calcite, blue calcite. The different colours will have different specific meanings. If you are picking crystals, if you're new to it and you want to pick crystals, I would start with clear quartz. Clear quartz is a good all-rounder. It covers absolutely everything. And it's a lot cheaper to buy than a lot of the others. But yes, an agate comes in all different sorts of colours. Jasper comes in all different sorts of colours. But they will all have their own specific meanings. It's about connecting. It's about deciding which ones your energy connects with. But like people, there will be some you get on with and some you don't. So it is you've got to work out what works for you. Maria, hi Maria. Malachite is one of my favorites. Yeah, it is lovely. Illyri, moonstone is my birthstone. Love it. It's perfect for you. You obviously connect with it. Jane, I bought a ghastly pink cat's eye crystal in Bodmin. Really don't like it, but felt it was meant for me for some reason. Any ideas? Actually, going back to the question about different colours, do watch out because some of them that you find in the more commercial shops, the touristy shops, will be dyed. Quite often they're dyed agate or dyed different colours. Not that that's a good or bad thing. You again have to decide if it works for you. Jane, that sounds quite personal. It sounds quite that there's something there that's specific. Meditate with it. Connect with the energy of the crystal and ask it what it's got in store for you. There's obviously something that or some reason that it wanted you. meditate, connect with the energy of the crystal and find out what it wants you to do. Trudy, have a necklace I've worn lots of labradorite with gorgeous shoes, worn since retired to give me direction and clearer thoughts, big changes. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Caroline loves rainbow moonstone. Yes, very pretty. Still a moonstone. Still don't get on with it. Okay. Yes, tiger's eye comes in. It comes in brown. It comes in red. It comes in blue. Quite dark shades of those colours. But yeah, it's huge. The crystal world is enormous. So it is about finding something that you connect with. Xenia finds malachite absolutely beautiful, but when I put on a malachite pendant, it doesn't feel right. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, there are lots of things. I was given a beautiful hematite necklace. I can't wear it. As soon as I put it on, it makes me feel like I've got the whole world on my shoulders. You have to connect with it. It has to feel right with you. Willow Moon loves moon glass, which is man-made glass and titanium. Titanium is amazing for connecting and focusing. Beautiful. Yeah, I love goldstone, and that's man-made. I like opalite too. That's man-made. I don't have a problem with the moon man-made at all. I think if you connect with it, then that's what matters, isn't it? Yes, how light gets dyed as well. So watch out for that. Just watching up. I don't have. I got a picture of what, Illyri? You'll have to. I'm sorry. Tell me what you need a picture of, and I'll tell you. So the other one, next one is rutilated quartz, and I couldn't get to the box of quartz crystals. I will sort them out, but I couldn't reach it. But rutilated quartz helps to recognize the truth and to understand the changes and transitions, to help you to make sense of why those changes and transitions are happening. Obviously, I know why my changes and transitions are happening. Personally, it's the menopause, and in the house, it's because we've booked renovations. But sometimes changes and transitions happen, and you're not really sure about why they're happening. So rutilated quartz can help you make sense of it all. Kay says, rainbow moonstone makes me too emotional. Well, moonstone, I think, is quite an emotional stone anyway, isn't it? Because it carries the energy of the moon, which works with emotions. Aqua aura is man-made. Oh, aqua aura is beautiful, isn't it? It is absolutely stunning. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it? If it's got an amazing energy, Thank you. Might be doing the crystal course. Yes, there's a crystal healing course and a working with crystals course on the Kitchen Witch site. Oh, okay. Picture for Trudy and her necklace. If anyone's got any pictures they want to share of their jewelry or their crystals or anything that helps them with transitions, do pop it in the comments afterwards. We love sharing. We like to see your pickies. Xenia, I get emotional when wearing moonstone or moon crescent pendants. It's connected to the moon, and that's what the moon does, isn't it? The moon is all about the emotions. So I'm not surprised. Kay says, I like this stone and all the aura stones because the precious metals. Yes, it's very cleverly done, isn't it? That electromagnetically put onto the quartz, but it does make them very pretty. Another one I have for changes and transitions is tourmaline. This is quite a big piece that I got from Freya's Cauldron again. I like tourmaline. It has all the stripes on it. Very, very good for protection. Brilliant for protection, brilliant for grounding. But tourmaline also helps bring clarity and understanding, and it also brings acceptance. This is about accepting the changes and the transitions, and it also helps you work with them so that you can have a smooth transition. So tourmaline's really, really good for that. And the last one is tree agate, moss agate, the one that's got greeny bits in it. It brings the power of nature. So it brings stability, and it brings the flexibility to weather the storm. So when everything is in turmoil and everything is throwing up changes, that can help you deal with it. With the power of nature, it can help help you have a smooth ride. So that's my choices. They might not work for you. You have to make your own choices because you've got to connect with the energy of the crystals. Illyria says, we're planning to buy a house, but I'm all a with it about it. Good word. I wonder if a grounding stone would calm my anxiety. Absolutely. Pick one that works for you. For me, even a pebble. If you've got a pebble from the garden, that would work brilliantly to help you ground, and doesn't cost anything. Jane says these electromagnetic crystals would be great for putting on wands. Oh, absolutely. They work brilliantly for channeling the energy, wouldn't they? Carol is going to be using red agate and carnelian for my sacral chakra as going through festivity. Oh, yeah, brilliant. That'll boost it, give it a kick. Caroline has some tourmaline using now. It's very useful. Maria had a lot of negativity around me, so wearing shungite. Brilliant. Very, very good. Illyria likes street agate. It is very pretty. Kay likes tourmaline. It's like licorice. I like licorice. Xenia, I have a raw black tourmaline pieces in my flat for protection. Yeah, they're really good for that. Also have a necklace made from tumbled tourmaline beads. Very protective. Yes, it is really good for that protection, but also that calming kind of energy. Yeah, it does work really well for that. Maria loves tree agate. It's very pretty. Illyria, what stone would help me finish my homework? One that I throw at you. You want one for focus? Have a look for one for focus. Carol says, we're doing chakra work. Chakra work helps generally with all kinds of things. If your chakras are all out of whack, then you're going to feel a bit floopy and topsy-turvy anyway. So working with the chakras will always help. Christine has a piece of magnetite for drawing towards me and a clear quartz on the other end of my wand. Brilliant. Absolutely perfect. I will cover wands at some point. I have been asked to talk about wands. It's on my list. So we have managed to talk a lot about crystals and all sorts of other things for dealing with changes. But let's have a look at some herbs as well, because I love working with herbs. They are my go-to for all kinds of magical things. These are for magical use and not for eating. So I would put them in spell pouches, dress candles with them. I might sprinkle some of them around the property, or if you're carrying it with you, put it in your purse or in your pocket, just to help calm and to bring around that energy that helps you deal smoothly with all the changes and all the transitions. Yeah, Christine says hematite is good for concentration. It keeps you grounded. It does, if you can work with it. I can't work with that one. It would just make me feel like my head had been nailed to the floor. But it is a strong grounding one, isn't it? So that would work. Maria needs a homework finishing stone too. I'll throw one at you. Nikki, what stone will you use against the invasion of masculine energy upon? That doesn't worry me at all. I don't have a problem with that, Nikki. My house is feminine. She's very feminine. The guys that are coming in are absolutely brilliant. I feel very comfortable with them. They have been absolutely brilliant dealing with all of my incessant questions, and they've been very patient. So I don't actually have a problem with that. I think it needs that masculine energy to get the work done. So I don't have a problem with that. But I think if you felt you needed to balance it, then I would pick something like probably rose quartz. I would pick for that, or bring in some moon energy. Bring in some moonstone. But it's not one of my concerns at the minute. I think the house being feminine and the boys coming in, and I'm assuming they're all men. They might not be. You never know. But that one I don't feel the need for that one at the minute. But if I did, I would say rose quartz. Kay has a tourmaline, a friend has a tourmaline bunch that looks like grapes, but knotted together with macrame made, especially for protection at doorways. Yeah, tourmaline's absolutely brilliant for that. Christine, I think my house is transgender. Some rooms feel feminine and some masculine. But I think they do. Actually, the living room I'm sitting in at the moment is very much Sherlock Holmes's study. It's got that kind of feel to it. So yes, this is quite a masculine room. But the house is feminine. She's definitely got a feminine energy to her. But yeah, different rooms will feel a different energy anyway, won't they? At work, but writing it up. You need something for focus. Definitely for focus. Nikki's house is schizophrenic. I think they all have their different personalities, don't they? And yes, each room will have a different feel to it. But let's look at herbs. Let's look at herbs before we run out of time. So these are for magical use, not eating, as I've said. Birch is a really good one. Birch trees were planted by settlers originally because they grew fast, but they're all about new beginnings and new starts. So birch is really good. Carnation is really good. I use that one a lot for healing. Cramp bark is really good for changes. Holly is really good for transitions as well. Lavender because it's calming. Poppy, rose, skullcap, St. John's wort, sweet pea, and vervain. They're all the traditional herbs and plants that work to help changes and transitions go smoothly. And you can use them in all kinds of magical workings. Jane's house is a tip. Doesn't matter as long as it's a home, Jane. That's the important part. Too many books to read to waste time on tidying. Oh, I hear you. I'm absolutely with you. My pile of books to read is enormous. And I bought a couple back from Bath as well to add to the pile. So foods for transitions and changes, because you know that I do like my magical food. These can be used in magical spell working, but they can also be eaten to help you deal with the changes and transitions. Black pepper. Black pepper is really, really good for, it's got that boost of energy. It's got that boost that gives you the confidence and the courage to deal with all of those changes. Cinnamon does pretty much the same. It is hot, it is spicy, and it helps deal with, I use cinnamon a lot when I'm working with changes. Cinnamon for me helps you deal with all of the ups and downs of changes and brings a successful outcome. Cinnamon is my go-to ingredient for success spells, so it works really well for working with changes and transitions. Cumin is another one. I think it's got that spicy punch to it, and it really helps give you that kind of confidence to deal with everything that's happening and everything that's going on. Garlic is another one. It's really, really good for protection, but it also helps with those changes. It also helps you deal with all of everything that's going on by bringing that protection in. Another fiery one, ginger. Ginger is really good. It gives a boost of power. It gives an oomph of energy so that you can keep going, so that you can keep dealing with all of those transitions and changes. Lemon balm, a little bit more calming, but it's still got that zing of lemon to it. And it brings success, it brings confidence, but it brings that calming energy as well to help you deal with those transitions. And quite a random one, plums. Plums are really, really good to help deal with changes. They've got a really nice, all-rounded energy that's really good with transitions. So all of those can be eaten or added to spell working. Probably not the plums. The others are quite good to add to spell pouches. With garlic, I would use the papery skin on the outside, not the actual garlic, because it gets a bit squishy. Plums, if I'm working with plum in any magical working, I work with the plum stones because they're dry and then they don't go all squishy. Christine says, St. John's wort would be good for you as it's very calming. Yep, especially when the house is being knocked about. Yes, indeed, because St. John's wort is really good for depression as well, isn't it? So that would be really good. Jane, I always thought lavender was for old biddies. Yeah, it smells like your grandma's knicker drawer. That's lavender. Fallen in love with it recently, then I realized I am an old biddy. Lavender is one of the old herbs plants to work with, and it does have such a recognizable scent to it, but it's really good for all kinds of magical workings, particularly calming ones. Carol uses cinnamon. Cinnamon is one of my real go-to ingredients for spell working. Kay bought a wooden storage box that I used as a mini bookcase to tidy the floating books to read. Now I have to. Yes. Yes, one of the things in the house renovation will be building purpose-built bookshelves that also have to get vinyl in. That's just a small selection of his vinyl collection. Very small section. Sonia says only 10. Pettigrain is a similar oil, but even the men like this one too. Yeah, I've not worked with that one very much. Plums are good for clearing. I don't know what you mean, Christine. Jane says lemon balm and rose petal tea plus an ordinary tea bag. Oh, nice. That sounds very nice. Trudy, I framed relevant dried herbs and flowers in a brass and glass miniature frame for my daughter who's going through big changes in her life, and she's put it on her work desk. Genius idea, Trudy. That's an absolutely brilliant idea. Excellent. Excellent idea. You can make herbal tea, obviously, from some of the ingredients that I've just read to you. And you can add lavender in there as well. Rose, lemon balm, lavender, ginger, cumin, cinnamon, black pepper. They can all be used in herbal tea blends. Have a mix, have a play around. Lavender, rose petals and a splash of lemon juice is quite nice. I like to have cinnamon, root ginger, and you can put a few rose petals in there as well. All different types of combinations. Do have a play around and see what works for you. Again, it's all about different flavors and different mixtures. You can obviously work with any of those plants, herbs in essential oil form. You could anoint yourself. Please mix it with a base oil first. You can dress candles with it. You could even put essential oil in a water spritz bottle and spray it around the house. That will bring a calming energy to help deal with the changes and transitions, which is probably something that I will be doing. And of course, incense blends as well. I'll be working with that quite a lot in each room. Probably at the end of each day, just to calm the energies and clear, ready for the next day. You can burn incense. John says, ginger in food is great anti-inflammatory. Yes. Ginger is very good. I like ginger in food anyway. It's nice. It brings lots of different things to the table. Kate says, yes, one of those display frames that you could buy in Hobbycraft. That would be very good. Maria has made lavender lemonade. Excellent. Very yummy. Nikki says, ginger crunch is in our house on the theory it must be anti-inflammatory. I can't eat ginger biscuits anymore. I was very nauseous with both my pregnancies. But with my daughter, I ate so many ginger biscuits while I was pregnant. I can't stand the sight of them now. Avon's lavender and chamomile or sleep therapy room sprays are brilliant and they smell great. You can make them so simply. You just boil some water, cool it, put it in a spray bottle and add your drops of essential oil. And there, voila, you have room sprays. Really easy to make, but such a brilliant idea. I'll very quickly go through the spell because I've gone over time again as well. Not that there is a time, really. We could talk all day if we wanted. Quick spell for transitions and changes, which I will be doing probably Sunday evening before everything starts on Monday. This helps put change into motion. It helps encourage you to let go of past things, lifestyles, habits, patterns, and move forward with the new. Obviously, there's quite a lot of memories in this house. We think we've lived here, but I think we worked it out about 27 years now. So, and you need a mirror for this one because it's used to reflect the restorative energy back at you. So, black candle for the past, white candle for transitions, a green candle for moving forward. I apologize for not having them, but I can't get to my stuff. Matches or a lighter. And a mirror that's large enough that you can set it in front of you so that the reflection of the three candles can be seen in it. So you put the black candle to your left, the white candle in the center, the green candle on the right. Light the black candle. This is the old, this is the past, this is the part of yourself that you want to change. Focus, watch the candle flame, and then you can say, I let go of the past, I release it at last. Snuff out the black candle. Light the white candle. Focus. Focus on what changes you need to make to create the new you, or new life, or new journey, new pathway. Watch the flame and then say, these changes I make, this positive move I take. Now light the white candle. Now take the white candle and light the green candle from it. Watch the green candle flame. Visualize the new you, the new situation, the new way of thinking. See it clearly and then say, I embrace this new task, I move forward at last. When you're ready, snuff out the white and green candles. I suggest you repeat this spell 3 days in a row, and then it kind of builds on the energy. You can leave it set up and then just relight it for 3 days in a row and repeat the chants. And then you're done. I will put that on the blog. That will all be on the blog. Quite a straightforward one, but about letting go of the past, dealing with the present and moving forward with that. You know, keep it simple, keep it simple. Let's just do these. Turmeric's good for anti-inflammatory. Yes, we had quite a few turmeric lattes in the last few days. Very yummy. Christine, I'm happy bunny as when I do my own essential oil mixes, it was always horrible. I now discovered we have Neil's yard shop near us and in shopping heaven. Yeah, I think mixing your own oils takes a little bit of practice. I tend to mix a few drops separately on a piece of kitchen oil first to see if I like the blend before I start. But it takes a bit of work. Yeah. Nikki says, if you whack a bit of vodka in your room spray, it helps it evaporate. Yes, absolutely. I don't actually have any alcohol in the house, so I don't often add it. But it is, yes, that does keep it too, doesn't it? Illyria uses room sprays when my daughter's in hospital. They don't like flames there. No. If you can't use candles or if you can't use incense, then room sprays are brilliant. Jane says, turmeric's quite a strong flavour, isn't it? I like the turmeric lattes. It's getting the blend right, isn't it? Because it can taste like curry in a glass. Tess. Yes, everything all the details I've talked about today, including the spell, and there's a ritual as well, are all in the Curative Magic book. Kay's house is smothered in oils, but I've been using them for 30. Yes, if you're an aromatherapist, you know what you're doing, don't you? It is, yeah. I like my spells to be simple. Anything complicated, and I think the whole situation gets complicated. Okay, good for making a home, but you can get, yes, you can as well, but I tend not to add it because I don't have it in the house. And again, I like to keep things simple, but if you've got it, chuck it in there. You're just making me say silly words now, aren't you, Nikki? Turmeric with ashwagandha. Yeah, well, that's medicinal. If you are going to take any of these herbs or spices for medicinal purposes, for natural remedies, please do check first. A lot of these can interact badly if you are taking other medications or if you have underlying health issues. So do check first. These herbal remedies are brilliant, but they are very powerful. So do check first. So that's kind of it, because I've waffled on forever. I will put all the details up on the blog, but if you want this and more, it's all in the Curative Magic book. And I have just had the last 6 months sales figures in from Llewellyn, and they are amazing. So thank you so much, everyone, for buying my books as a whole, really. Thank you for joining me this week, as usual. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I will be here every week now, right through the renovation, she says, hopefully, providing you'll be able to hear me above all the noise. I might be stuck in a broom cupboard somewhere, but I will be here. And all the information will be on the blog. Do have a look at the Kitchen Witch blog as well. There's lots and lots of spells and herbals and all sorts of wonderful things on there as well. So thank you. Thank you to everyone for joining me. If you are a Kitchen Witch student, I think we've got a student talk, student workshop on Sunday evening. So have a look on the forum or on the student Facebook group for details of that. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and a good week. And I will catch up with you all later.